This is Political Science, Class 11, and the chapter that is going to start today is Executive. Executive is the second organ of the government. What is executive? Executive is that organ of the government that is responsible to implement the policies and the decisions passed by the parliament. Parliament is the legislature. Okay, so this is the second organ of the government. All the governments, especially the democratic governments, they have three organs. First, the legislature, that is also known as the law-making body. The second organ is executive, that is responsible for the implementation of the policies. And the third organ is the judiciary. Judiciary is independent, and that is the organ that settles the disputes of any kind in the country. And today the organ that we are going to start is the second organ of the government, and the name is executive. Executive consists of the president, vice president, prime minister, and his council of ministers. In Article 74, there is a provision that the institutions set up in India, headed by the president, who is the constitutional head of the state, and the real executive's authority is vested in the council of ministers, that is headed by the prime minister. So in this way we see that the president in India, that is not the real executive. He is a ceremonial or constitutional executive or head of the state. And the real power that is vested in the prime minister and his council of ministers. So these are the examples of the types of executive, that is real and nominal executive. So the president of India is not the real executive. Why? Because he cannot exercise the powers mentioned in the constitution on his own. He has to follow the advice given by the prime minister and his council of ministers. And whatever advice is given by the prime minister and the council of ministers, he has to follow, or he has to go accordingly. Whereas the real executive has the power to take decision on his own, but not in a dictatorial way. Okay, because he is the part of the elected government. So the real powers are vested in the prime minister, and the head of the state is the president. When we say, children, head of the state, here state is not the part of the country. That state means the entire country. Alright, so head of the state is headed by the not the prime minister, but by the president. So president is the head of the state, and the prime minister is the head of the government. Remember this. Similarly, we see that the Queen of Britain, that is also an executive, but not a real executive. She is also a nominal executive and more known as a ceremonial head. And the real power is vested in the council of ministers, headed by the prime minister. And what about the real head of the state? Here I would like to mention the example of USA. USA has the president, who is the real head of the state also and head of the government also. He is the real executive and the most powerful executive in the world. Now we come to the Indian president, the executive. You know who is the present executive? the nominal executive of India? Yes, I think you know. And I would like you to answer this when I will give you the assignment. So now we come to the elections of the president. In order to be elected as the president, I would like to mention here that the election of the president is not the direct election. He is elected indirectly. Indirectly means in the election of the president, the common people, they do not take part in the election. As we take part in the election as the voters, all those who are above 18 years and are the citizens of India and whose names are in the voters list, they take part in the election to elect the members of legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha. But we as common people do not take part in the election of the president. But the president is elected. Such election is called indirect election. That means he is elected by those members of the government who are elected by the people, who are already elected, and they are the members of the legislature, okay, member of legislative assemblies and the members of parliament. And such election is based on the single transferable vote system, and that is a part of the proportional representation system. So he is elected by the members of parliament and the members of state assemblies. State assemblies, the legislature of the state government like UP, Uttaranchal, Uttarakhand, and Bihar, etc. So he is elected and elected for 5 years. Alright, and who can be elected? The person who is Indian, whose name is in the voters list, who is eligible to be as a voter, who is above the age of 35 years, okay, who does not hold any office of profit, who is not the member of parliament, like these. So any person who fulfills these qualifications can be a president or can be eligible to contest the election for the presidentship. Okay, now the president can be removed also from his post, and the ways are he himself can give the resignation and he can give the resignation to the vice president, or in case of he is found guilty, some allegations are there, or if it is observed that he is not performing his duties well, he is not good for the country, or he is not fit for the post because of his unwanted behavior which would not be in favor of the security of the country, okay, so then there is a procedure called impeachment. So impeachment is the procedure which is used to remove the president, and for this any house in the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, can take the initiative by signing this proposal by 1/4 of the members, and then 14 days notice is given to the president, and then the voting takes place. If that is passed by both the houses by 2/3 majority, that yes, these allegations are true, so then the president has to resign, or not resign, has to leave the post, or he is removed. So for today this much is all right, and we'll continue it in the next lecture. Thank you. अरे यार